Hi viewers, and welcome once again at my channel and in my videos. Thank you very much for watching my videos and liking my videos and also subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the feedback and the response you have provided me to improve my upcoming videos is also really good. I really appreciate it, and moreover, some of you have also suggested that I should keep on recording these videos, since it is also helping you out in your academic studies, and especially the students who have enrolled themselves for a business uh, graduate program or business masters program like BBA and MBA. So definitely I'm trying my level best to improve my video quality and also content so that you can benefit more from it. And sorry for the late recording of videos, because I was a bit busy in my regular job meetings. So in my last video we discussed about four management functions, and then organizational performance as a whole, and then we discussed about the skills like human skills, conceptual skills and technical skills which are required for successful managers. And we also saw that how managers implement those skills and demonstrate those skills categories to perform various tasks in an organization. So today we are continuing this momentum, and today we will be discussing about the horizontal and vertical differences, which are the management types. So there are different managers in an organization. Not every manager is equal. Some are at the top and some are at the like first line managers. So let's discuss the vertical and horizontal differences in management types. So first of all, we are discussing about the vertical differences in management types. So if we move in an organization from top to bottom, so there are different managers who are said to be the managers and who manage organization, but their activities, their roles, their skills, their knowledge, their qualifications are really different. So there are three types of vertical differences in an organization for management types. Number one are the top managers. Number two are the middle management, which is also called middle managers, and number three are the first line managers, or the first line management of an organization. So if we talk about the top managers, these are having the titles is Chief Executive Officer, President, Assistant Vice President, Chairperson, Executive Director. These are the titles for the top managers of an organization. So these are basically responsible to set the organizational goals and also to formalize the strategies for the organization, that how the organization would be performing. These managers usually analyze the external environmental factors which impact the organization as a whole, and also they are responsible to form a strong organizational culture or corporate culture. So these individuals are responsible to set the goals, and they are responsible to formulate the strategies and also shape the organizational culture or corporate culture. And for example, Philip Knight is a chief executive officer at Nike, which is a global sports shoes brand, and he performed and performed the different tasks at different times, and he also provides his guidance to formulate the overall organizational strategy. And country president is also a title for a top manager in an organization. For example, Vas Narasimhan is a global chief executive officer of Novartis Pharmaceuticals. He is responsible to shape the overall corporate culture of the organization across the globe, and he is responsible to respond to the changing environmental factors at all times. So a top manager is basically a person who drives the organization and who needs to be really proactive to respond to the changes in political, in technological, in natural, in cultural and economical environment. After top managers, then comes the middle management or middle managers. A middle manager is an individual who is responsible for different departments. For example, a CEO is responsible to coordinate the different departments, and a middle manager is responsible for a particular department or a function. For example, the titles of these middle managers are business unit head, division head, department head, and chief quality control officer, chief scientific officer, chief medical officer. These are the titles of the middle managers, and these middle managers are responsible to implement those all strategies defined by the top management of the organization, and they are responsible for maintaining the overall corporate culture, and they are there to inspire and motivate the teams to achieve organizational goals, and they also coordinate with other departments. For example, there is a company Rubbermaid who provides the home solutions in America and also furnish the bathroom and its accessories in houses in US. So Mary Lee Bowen is a manager at Rubbermaid, who is a middle manager and is responsible for coordinating with other departments, and also is responsible to motivate the team to perform at a higher level, and is responsible for the overall implementation of the strategy of the organization for a particular department. So there are different departments in an organization. For example, sales, manufacturing, human resources, finance, accounting, marketing. So they are heads of these departments, and these heads are called to be the middle managers of a particular department. So these are the middle managers. Middle managers are responsible to resolve the conflicts between the teams whenever there is a conflict, and they are responsible to create a culture where teams can collaborate very easily. And in the current era of downsizing, there are a number of companies who are cutting down the middle managers, and they are bringing a system of automation where the information flows very quickly and efficiently from top to bottom to reduce the time and gap between the like people, and it is due to the fact that the competition is very high in the markets, and the competition is very high in the global markets. For example, medical systems at General Electric has cut down its middle management by 35% in the recent year. So these are some of the examples where middle management role is being laid off to save the overall organizational cost, and also to enhance the process and simplify the process, and also to increase overall organizational efficiency. But that does not mean that an organization does not need a middle management. Middle management is always important, because CEO or presidents or vice presidents or directors do not have that much time to go deep into the conflicts, or to go deep into monitoring of the work activities. Those are routine work, those are the daily tasks. So they need to keep the middle managers to monitor all the activities of the teams, and to evaluate the performance of the team members and the different teams working in the same department. For example, if organization operates at the global level, it needs to have different teams in different countries and different provinces, and the sizes of the teams vary. And so a middle manager, if is responsible for the sales department, then he needs to look after all the teams working in the sales department in different countries. Or sometime it also happens the country sales director is different in each country. If the organization is global and the organization is a big corporation with hundreds of thousands of employees. So this is all about the middle management. And after that, first line management role comes up in the vertical differences of management. So basically, first line managers are responsible to monitor day-to-day activities of the teams in a particular department, and also they evaluate the performance of individual team members. They are responsible to get the things done on day-to-day basis and weekly basis, and they are responsible to produce the services or goods or products by teams, and they have been given a target. They are responsible to achieve goals and targets of the organization in a given timeline. For example, zonal sales manager or a regional sales manager is called to be a first line manager. A first line manager looks after or supervises the team activities at all times, and he is responsible to monitor the deviation and inform the middle management very quickly and very efficiently. And second line manager also falls under this category of first line management, or it is sometimes also called the first point of contact or bottom line management. And the information in an autocratic organization moves from top to bottom, and the decisions are made at the top management, and then they are communicated downwards, and this is also called the downward communication. And like in an autocratic type of organization, the input from the bottom or middle management is not that much considered as an democratic organization where the information flows from bottom to top and also the people are involved and given ownership to achieve the goals by involving them into the decision making process. So these are the three types of management, that is top management, middle management and first line or bottom management. So these are the vertical differences in an organization. Now we come to the horizontal differences. As we discussed earlier, that it all types of management and vertical layers, there are people who perform the same tasks and look after different different departments. They have to coordinate with their peers or counterparts who work in the same organization for the same department, or even in the different department, and they are having the same cadre of the management, or they having the same title in the organization but having the different task or function or department. For example, a business franchise head and sales department is equal to the production chief in the same organization, and they are having the different titles but they are on the same position. So these are known to be the horizontal differences in an organization. And the project manager falls also under this category, because project managers are responsible for a short-term project and they coordinate the different departments. And for example, let me give you an example. During Ramadan, the Muslims start a very frequent buying at departmental stores to get the discounts. They buy the vegetables, they buy different food items or the beverages, and like beverage companies, for example, different beverages companies like Coca-Cola, like Pepsi, increase the production because they know the Muslims would buy an increased number of beverages in Ramadan. So they hire the project managers who are having a particular target, and they are responsible for the short term goals of the company, and they coordinate the different functions, tasks and department in the beverage company, and then they deliver the stated outcomes or objectives within a given timeline, and they work on the similar position as a middle manager works. So these are known to be the project managers. So these are the horizontal differences in an organization, and but all the managers at all levels have to perform all the four management functions, like planning, like organizing, like leading, like controlling. So, and they need to demonstrate conceptual, human skills and technical skills. At the top management level, most required skills which need to be demonstrated at all times are human skills, and top managers should have more human skills as compared to middle and lower or bottom management. And the middle managers should have the equal ratio of conceptual and human skills, because they need to demonstrate the behaviors which are required to achieve the organizational goals and to shape the corporate culture. and they should also have an emotional intelligence to understand the behaviors of teams and analyze the behavior of teams, and also make corrections when there is a deviation. And the lower management or first line management managers should have all three skills, like human skills, conceptual skills, and technical skills, so that they can disseminate their knowledge and exhibit their skills and demonstrate the skills, so that teams, each individual team member can follow them very easily. So these are the ratios of different management skills for managers at different layers of organization. We will be discussing more about these ratios and the particular percentages more in deep in the coming chapters. And this is all about the management types. And now in the next video we will be discussing about the management activities, which are very essential for the managers to exhibit at different times. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have a great time. Take care, and do not forget to subscribe my channel, like my video, and watch my upcoming videos. Thank you.